We are sitting here waiting on our tour.
Whoops.
And Roger likes to play his videos while I'm trying to record. But yeah, we're just sitting here waiting. It's a nice breezy day, so it's not hot. But we have about 15-20 minutes and we will be taking a boat ride to see a bunch of alligators. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video.
Alright. Okay, y'all ready to go have some fun?
Yes, sir.
That was pretty lame.
Yeah.
Y'all ready to go have some fun?
Yeah.
Ah, that's better. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, now I'm away from landing. I always like to get away from landing. Now we're the captive audience, you know what I mean? It's too late to get out now. You should understand that Cajun Price on tools only guarantees a 98% return rate. Hey, 98% is good though, you gotta admit that. Unless you're at 2%, then maybe not so good. Like the opportunity to welcome you out to Cajun Price on tools. Let's hear with them. We have a great old time to do today. We're gonna see a lot of alligators, different wildlife living on the town. My name is Captain Danny. I'll be your captain and your tour guide for the tour today. And lifeguard, and paramedic, counsel, and VD, we'll do it all. So let's cover something real quick, okay? So everybody don't get overly excited. The very beginning of the tour, the first 10-15 minutes or so of the tour, most of the alligators and turtles and stuff we're going to see are going to be the left-hand side of them. That's because when the sun peaks out, the sun is on the left-hand side, the right-hand side is the shady side. But not to worry, in a couple of minutes when I make the turn up here, the right-hand side will be the sunny side. But we'll see stuff on both sides of the boat. Now I say that, but as I'm pulling up, if you look to the right, the first alligator will be coming up almost right over in the right, laying on the log to the front of the boat. Close to the bank. Laying on the log right there, close to the bank. Alright, so as we get started, there's one thing you'll learn very quickly about me. I do like to talk, and I do like to hear myself talk. I'll be talking most of the way through the tour. We'll talk all about the history of this area, it's a very famous place. We'll talk about that, the people, the animals, the wildlife, and everything else we'll see out here. I'll try to keep my personal life out of there. We'll just have to see how it goes. Now, I really like people ask questions anytime you may have a question. I love when people ask me questions, because then I get addressed with something that they may be interested in. We're more happy to answer any questions. This is no-mail squirrel haven, okay? And we usually typically see a lot of squirrels, you know?
They know the boat.
Oh yeah. You want a marshmallow?
Yeah,
You get the marshmallow. He said, I'm coming.
They're eating marshmallows.
So if I do run in the bushes and trees, the big snake does fall in the boat. We have to catch him, we'll pass him around and love him and hug him and kiss him. We'll call him George and throw him back. You people looking at him like Captain Dan lost his mind over there. Alright, so look, comes the alligator coming up on the left-hand side of the boat. Alright, look, so listen. This is for y'all's sake, okay? I've been doing tours about 18 years. We see a lot of stuff. So all the captains, including myself, cover this with everybody at the very beginning of the tour. Alright? You got a camera here today. You're using the camera to take pictures with it, that's perfectly fine. But it has a strap on it, a strong suggest you put the strap around your neck, put it around your wrist. Now, like everybody else in the world, using a cell phone to take pictures, that's perfectly fine. That's the way it is today, right? It's a cell phone world. Everybody uses their cell phone. But whether you use a camera or a cell phone here to take your pictures today, please, and I guess I'll say pretty please, be very, very careful how you dangle around the rails of the boat taking pictures. Because let me tell you what, if you accidentally drop one overboard, it goes splash in the water, it's gone, see you later, alligator, gone. It ain't coming back, okay? Now bring that up, because I promise you, it won't be the first one I see go overboard, and it won't be the last. It happens more than people ever think it does. Give you a good example of that? Last year we were closed for 4 months with all this crazy stuff in the world. Even though we were closed for 4 months, we closed the year out with a total of 30 phones in the water for the year. It's harder than a soft lemon.
He wants a marshmallow too.
Yeah, he wants a piece of marshmallow too. Come on, stick your nose. I heard there's an alligator right there.
Oh dear.
Come on. You can't see me if you don't stick your nose up.
Oh, he's gone.
No, he's gone. He said forget it. It ain't worth the marshmallow.
There you go. Go get the marshmallow. I'll see Rocky. We're going to come up here and throw some stuff out for him anyway. And hopefully we come back this way in a little while. Rocky Raccoon will be hanging out right here. Might be why Rocky's not here, that alligator's on the bank. I'm gonna chase him off the bank while I'm at it. Now look, everybody listen. If Rocky does show up while I'm here, don't rush the front of the boat, stay where you're at. So we'll pull up here, we're gonna throw the afternoon streets out for him. Now I'm gonna turn the boat to the right, everybody get a chance to see. I'll turn it to the left, everybody get a chance to see. You jumped in the water, good. All right, my friend right here in the front of the boat, all the way in the right, all the way in the front. Yeah, you just got volunteered. See that bucket next to you?
Yep.
Put your phone down and throw everything in the bucket out there. Not the bucket, but everything in there. Give it a good toss, hold on to my bucket, give it a good hard toss out there.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Just give it a hard toss, just give it a good toss.
3, swing.
Close enough, good enough. Good job. Especially good job because you held on to my bucket. You to pick up that food and eat with it. What we threw out there too was a mixture of corn and cat food. And they like the cat food better, so if you watch them when they eat, they use their little fingers and their hands to pick out the cat food first. Now, they're smart little rascals too. I've already seen them use those little hands to unscrew the lid off of a jar. Or if I forget my marshmallows out, forget to hide them under the seat at the end of the day, they'll get in my duffel bag, unzip my duffel bag, eat all the marshmallows out of my duffel bag. Smart little rascals. You come and get the food. See how leery he is though? He's scared to come by the water. Get a lead right there. Okay. Again, like I said, we're gonna see stuff on both sides of the boat. Then when I turn around, things will switch, okay? Now this whole area we traveled in today is part of a very large swamp. I'm gonna lean back in my chair a little bit. Everybody up front hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I got a broken rib, so I've been doing tours the last 3 or 4 days. So I'm trying to rest my back a little bit. So anyway, this whole area we traveled in is part of a very large swamp system. All of southern Louisiana is made of swamp-less systems and marshlands. The swamp we traveled in today has been one of the biggest swamps in all of southern Louisiana. It covers over 5,000 acres of swampland. Yes, that's ghost stories kind of haunted. Give you a good example of that. 2 years ago, before Christmas, the week before Christmas, 2 years ago, the National Geographic was here on our property filming one of the latest documentaries on all the ghost stories and hauntings in this area. The name of that show was the most haunted, abandoned, and creepiest places in America. They tell us we're number 2 on their list of the most haunted places in America. They wouldn't tell us who number 1 is. I guess we got to watch the show to find out. Located in that spot. Where we at today is called the town of Brienne. Into that railroad at some point in time or another. What that did was they gave the timber company what we call ease of access to get there. All right, people on the right-hand side of the boat. Look up past these turtles a little bit. You got a pretty big alligator laying on the bank on y'all side of the boat coming up. I think the one over here is actually bigger.
Oh my goodness.
Look at the little guy on the big mud hill right here, playing King of the Hill, like, come knock me off of here, I dare you.
Wow. Look at that monster. That's a big one there.
Them 2 guys looked the way they laid out, they laid down to their side, like they spent too much time on Burger Street last night. Alright, I'm just going to turn around coming up here. I can't go much further anyway. We are dead ends by the interstate. So we got 4 very impressive alligators. We just haven't seen them yet. They're still hibernating for the winter time. There'll probably be another couple of weeks before we see them. See these big alligators we saw just now? 7, maybe 8 footers. Our big alligators make them look like there's only one true waterless snake we worry about. And now here's a poisonous snake. That would be the water moccasin or the cottonmouth. Either name is the same snake. Water moccasin is its real name. Cottonmouth would be its nickname. Dangerous snake called a copperhead. Then you got all your non-poisonous snakes. Now all in all, we have 36 different species of snakes in Louisiana. But of those 36 different species of snakes, there's only 6 of those that are poisonous. I say only 6, but how the saying goes, it only takes 1, right? That's the way I treat them. I treat them all the same. You're a snake, you're a snake, you're a snake. You stay over there, I stay over there. We're all good. You get too close to me, I'll trim your tail. Right behind the head. Whack! That's why okay, you want to carry a machete in the swamp, right? And look, let me tell you, see the case you want to swamp with my machete? And if they get too close to me, I'll be like that game called whack-a-mole. There's a piece of snake flying everywhere.
He wants that food, but he's not too sure.
He's watching you.
Little Rocky Raccoon watching that alligator close, boy. When I set them up over here, this will be our first attraction in the tour. This is one of the main grave sites where they buried people that died in that hurricane. Now, people you see buried like this, don't give you an idea how bad it was for these people. You got to remember, California was wiped out by a hurricane. You only had a handful of people that survived. What people don't think about or realize is those people survived, but they lost their home. They lost everything. They were trying to survive. So unfortunately, they didn't have the materials, the means, or especially the manpower to go around and build individual coffins or dig individual graves for everybody that died out here. So unfortunately, what they had to do was dig large holes like mass graves and bury several people in a grave at a time. So each one of these crosses you see here represents an individual mass grave. Several people are buried in each one of those spots. And again, none of these people are buried in a coffin or a casket. You just didn't have the ability to build that many. Now, people you see like this buried in the ground, actually buried in the ground, we don't bury our loved ones in the ground like this in Louisiana anymore. It didn't take us long to figure out about burying people in the ground like this in areas that are below sea level. We get these storms and these floods come through here, they don't normally stay that way. It wasn't common back in the day to have storms and floods and hurricanes come through the area. Even the city of New Orleans would have bodies and caskets floating through the streets. That's why now we bury our loved ones in these cement tombs and cement mausoleums. That's why if you go through New Orleans, you see these famous historical cemeteries. You see all the big cement tombs and cement boxes. That's the reason why. Okay, now I think one of my girls up front missed the marshmallow earlier. I think one guy, look, I've had people, I'll throw a marshmallow at it, hit somebody, have them say, ow! So yeah, I think I got all the kids, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Better not forget that one.
I call him Pee-wee.
Pee-wee. He is a little one.
And the shack in the cabin you see right here, this is our weekend getaway. Rent this out for bed and breakfast. Everyone's come out for the weekend. Only charge $10 a night. That's all you make the whole night without calling for help. You know, you don't get any food or water, bug spray, no Wi-Fi, no cell phone. You're truly on your own. And if I like to tease about this being a bed and a breakfast and a weekend getaway, this is actually an old trapper's cabin built out here back in the day, but people lived out here and hunted and trapped animals for their fur. This is Pepe Le Pew the skunk. Because everybody's something about Pepe Le Pew the skunk though, okay? When I was able to pass these around to everybody, I'd look up and there was always somebody giving me a good laugh. There was always somebody who wanted to smell it. Skunks don't stink unless they spray it with their scent glands, so the animal itself doesn't stink. But I always had to ask myself the more funny question of it all. If you really thought he stunk, why you won't stick your nose in it and smell it? I never understood people. I guess curiosity really did kill a cat after all. Now this bird you see right here, he's called a cormorant. He's a very unique bird, okay? He's got the most unusual bone structure of all birds out there. Almost all birds, their bone structure is hollow. That makes them lighter and easier to fly. You see, he's not flying. His feathers are wet, and it's almost impossible for him to fly right now. So that's why you saw him with his wings open like that. He was trying to dry his wings out so he can have the ability to fly again. Now the next one I got, very beautiful, thick, soft fur. But he's not even a native of Louisiana. This is an invasive species from South America called the nutria rat. The nutria rat's nothing more than a giant water rat from South America that does horrible damage to our ecosystem. But the crazy thing is, even though he's an invasive species, because of his beautiful fur, in the 1950s and the 1960s, the nutria rat was one of the #1 selling furs in the market here in Louisiana. Now the next one, this is my favorite of them all. I got the expensive mink I'll show you in a minute. As far as I'm concerned, you can keep your mink. I'll take this any day over the mink. This is the beautiful, soft feeling muskrat. Now the next one I got here is a very, very unique piece. This is from the head of a fox. This is from a gray fox. Now some people get creeped out by it because it's the head of the fox. I'd like to bring the head of the fox over to remind people of things we so easily forget and a lot of people don't realize. Long before the pioneers ever came here, the French people, Canadians, the Spaniards, this area was heavily inhabited by the Indians, mainly the Choctaw and the Homi Indians in this area. And what the higher ranking Indians would do is the higher ranking Indians would wear it like this as part of their headdress so the other Indians would know that they were of the higher ranking Indians. Now, last but not least of my fur collection, we got more to go, it gets better. This is the expensive, luxurious mink. Now look how small this creature is. They tell me it depends how well it's skinned, it takes over 100 mink to make a full-length mink coat. That's probably why they're so expensive. But you know what I'd like to see just once? I'd love to be able to watch just once. Today's world, the technology doesn't impress me. We do everything nowadays. But I'd like to see just once. In the old days, when everything was done by hand, I'd love to see how you take 100 of these, put them together, make a coat that's seamless. That would be incredible workmanship to watch.
Oh dear.
Baby Bruce comes around me so people get close and feely we're a live alligator. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go on a few handling instructions. We'll pass Baby Bruce around the boat. Anybody that wants to hold Baby Bruce and take pictures can hold Baby Bruce and take pictures. First things first, everybody, settle down, settle down. Because first things first, I have to go over handling instructions for Baby Bruce. Believe it or not, the handling instructions are for his safety, not yours. One of these handling instructions can actually be a matter of life or death for Baby Bruce. So please just give me a couple of minutes. Let's get over the handling instructions, all right? So I need everybody to be listening to me. If you're not listening to me and you're talking, that means you're not listening to me. All right, just give me a minute. Let's get through this. We'll get him going around the boat. First things first, Baby Bruce is just that, a baby. Alligators live to be 60 to 70 years old. Baby Bruce just made 2 years old this past September. So he is truly a baby. You don't have to squeeze him to hold him. But what you probably want to know the most about is, if you squeeze him too much, you might see some Gatorade come out of there. You didn't want to see that. So don't squeeze him, all right? Now the next one, I'm going to put his little muzzle on him so he can't bite anybody. Not that he would, but he does have a mouthful of 72 very sharp teeth. If you want to bite somebody here today, trust me, it will not be pretty. Okay, so now I got his little muzzle on. Now the next thing, at this point, he really and truly cannot hurt you, okay? So if he does decide to wiggle and squirm, please don't panic and throw him on the floor of the boat and bang his head off the floor. It happens more than I'd like to think it does. Now here's the most important and critical rule for his safety. Sitting on the outside railing of the boat, which is a lot of people. When you hold Baby Bruce, face his nose to the middle of the boat. Don't face him towards the outside railings. If something happens and he gets away from you, I want him in the boat where I can catch him. If he gets away from you and he gets in that water with his muzzle on, he won't be able to eat. He's not going to survive. Not only that, if he gets in that water, I can promise you, I'll never ever be able to catch him and get the muzzle off of him. If you're all the way to the front of the boat, face his nose to the back of the boat away from the front railing. So all eyes on me because this is the way you can hold Baby Bruce. Bruce, we're talking about the wiggling stuff. Hold on a minute. Hold him by his tail like this, behind his front legs like this, he'll do very well. The biggest thing is don't put his feet on you. A lot of times he gets his feet on you, he thinks he can crawl and get away. He's going to try and crawl and get away and give you a handful. Hold him a little bit away from him where he's not touching you. And hold him by his tail and behind his front legs. Now, if he does decide to wiggle and squirm a little bit, I don't know why or how it works, but it does. Try holding his tail a little bit higher. Move your hand up a little bit more or back a little bit more on his tail. Usually he'll quit wiggling and squirming. If that don't work, hang on for the ride. He'll quit wiggling eventually. I couldn't tell you how many times I've had that happen. People come to me at the end of the tour. Can we hold Baby Bruce again? We forgot to take a picture. This is a little neck rub. He loves his neck rub. You ready? Here's the sweet spot right there. Oh yeah, we got it. Oh yeah. He's not enjoying it as much as he normally does. He knows it's his last tour today. He's ready to get back in his box. All right, I know. Look, see, watch. He's getting all excited. Hold on. I know. Hold on. I'm putting you back. He said, yeah, Cap, this is the last tour. Hey, you get the day off tomorrow. Relax. Oh, you're so lazy about it, huh? Oh, that's Pee-wee. Hey, Pee-wee, Liberty guy.
Let me say, Mom.
Oh, look how lazy he is. He's just like, I'll get there when I get there. Now he sees it.
So here I come. All right, who on this side's got marshmallows left?
Thanks for watching, y'all. We had a great time, and I sure hope y'all enjoyed seeing all the alligators. Bye-bye, y'all. See you soon.